President Trump says he plans to impose a 10% tariff increase on China. Mr. Trump said the tariffs would start on September 1st and would be on the remaining $300 billion of products coming into China from the U.S. Earlier today, the president addressed the tariff increase.
For many years, China has been taking money out by the hundreds of billions of dollars a year. We have rebuilt China. So now it's time that we change things around. If they don't want to trade with us anymore, that would be fine with me. Would save a lot of money.
And now Franco Ordonez. He's a White House correspondent for NPR. Hi, Franco. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
So, Franco, why is the White House re-escalating its trade war with China now?
Well, it's because the trade discussions that they had this week did not work out as planned. Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin and the Trump administration's top trade advisor went over to China, Shanghai, with hopes of working out a deal to kind of end or at least move forward on this trade battle with China that has really rattled global markets. But it did not work out. Trump tweeted earlier today that basically, in his words, China didn't live up to its commitments, and he, accused them of some pretty strong stuff. And here we are now again with no solution and more threats of tariffs. And as you played that little clip, he's talking about possibly even more tariffs later on.
And Franco, as we know, tariffs are still not popular among voters. That part hasn't changed. CBS News' most recent polling from May found nearly half of Americans believe raising tariffs on Chinese imports will make the economy worse. The president touts the economy as one of the biggest reasons to re-elect him. So is the White House then at all concerned that elevating this trade war could backfire on him in the campaign?
Well, the White House is kind of sticking to its script, that they believe in trade wars. Trump himself has called himself a trade battle guy, a tariff man, and his advisors, some of his chief ones, are for it. But certainly there are parts of the Trump administration, there are aspects of the White House that think differently. Just today, Trump's former top economic advisor, Gary Cohen, was talking against this and saying that it hurts the economy, this trade battle that they're continuing to have. So I think there's certainly divisions, and they're definitely hearing it from Americans who are against this, particularly the farmers in the Midwest who are losing out in not having buyers for their soybean crops. The Trump administration has tried to give them some assistance and breaks and financial incentives, but they're certainly very concerned.
They're concerned, and they can hold out for only so long, I'm sure. Now, Franco, the White House also said President Trump called Russia's Vladimir Putin last night. A reporter asked the president if he brought up Russian election interference and if he thinks Russia is still interfering, as Robert Mueller indicated last month. Let's listen to what he said.
You don't really believe this. Do you believe this?
He said it last week. Did you raise that with President Putin yesterday?
We didn't talk about that. I spoke with President Putin of Russia yesterday. They're having massive fires in their forests. They have tremendous, I've never seen anything like it. It's very big. I just offered our assistance because we're very good at putting out forest fires.
You don't really believe this, do you? That's what the president said to the reporter. Now, obviously, we know that the president is no fan of Robert Mueller's, but hasn't his own intelligence community continually warned that Russia is still interfering?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, that was one of the issues of Dan Coates, the DNI director, and one of the reasons that it was believed that he was pushed out of this intelligence job, and, it was interesting that last night when the readout comes from the White House, it was done in the middle of the debate, which is sometimes a technique for when people are distracted, that it doesn't want to bring too much attention on the conversation that he had with Putin. And that's because there's just so much scrutiny of the conversations that the two have, obviously because of the accusations of Russian meddling, the Mueller report, and Trump's, as you played, resistance to that evidence.
It's pretty amazing, that resistance at this point. Now, Franco, we played the president's comments on the Democratic debates earlier. Last night, he tweeted, "The people on stage tonight and last were not those that will either make America great again or keep America great. So does he still view Biden as his most likely opponent, or is he warming up to the idea that it could be someone else?
I mean, he's certainly still talking that Biden is the person that'll lead. But yes, he has kind of raised other names potential today, as you played in the clip. He's seeing about 4 people that could really lead. Talking to my sources at the White House and close to the White House, they certainly believe that Biden is the most dangerous person to go against Trump, particularly in a general election, because of his appeal to Midwest voters in many of the states that Trump needs to keep in order to win. But that said, Biden still needs to get through the primaries. And as we are seeing, he is getting attacked and attacked and attacked.
Absolutely. All right. Well, Franco Ordonez, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.